Welcome to this continuing series, Global Dialogues. We are now well past 50 days into this lockdown. For many of us, the way we work, the way we live, the time that we spend with families, everything has changed in these last 50 days. And with it has also been extra mental stress for a lot of people. How do we deal with the increased mental stress, and how do we concentrate on mental well-being while we're being locked in at home? To try and discuss this in this episode of Global Dialogues, I'll be joined by two very, very prominent spiritual gurus of India. Sadhguru and Sri Ravi Shankar will be joining us separately through the course of Global Dialogues. Sadhguru is now joining us first from the Isha Foundation. Thank you very much, Sadhguru, for speaking with us here on CNN News 18 and on Global Dialogues. Let me start off by asking you, we've all been locked up in our homes. The way we work has changed. Our lives have changed. What has been the one big teaching, according to you, for us as individuals, as a society, as a nation, from this COVID-19 pandemic?
Isn't it unfortunate that we didn't learn from anything, now a microorganism has to teach us a lesson? So the important thing is that now, I think people staying at home by themselves or with their families in a confined atmosphere, many of them are beginning to realize, their own kinks, all kinds of problems that human beings have. So this is an opportunity. We should not see this as every generation goes through something or the other. Generally, it's been wars, last generations have gone through the World War II. Well, we are talking about COVID warriors and stuff, but even India has gone through 4 wars, but fortunately for us, our soldiers fought the war on the border. Many died, but they fought a war on the border. We in the cities and other places, we don't know what is war. Nobody shot at us.
Yeah.
So, for the first time we are facing an adversity like this. This is a time to show what kind of human beings we are, what are we made of really. It is just that when you have this kind of a space for yourself, this is the time every human being should strive to see how you can be a better human being in every possible way, physically, mentally, emotionally, and also in terms of whatever we're doing, our competence. This is why I'm asking people, at least 10% improvement you show in physical fitness, mental well-being, emotional balance, and whatever work you're doing, 10% better. If we make this 10% better, the whole population means we have a great country.
That's a great idea. But tell me this, we've seen the last 50 days, we had a total lockdown for 40 days and then some relaxation. And the moment we saw the first set of relaxations being announced, the first thing that we saw was people queuing up outside liquor stores. What does that say to you about us as a society, about, just running to a liquor store first thing after lockdown is opened up? What would you say to those people?
This shows how, empty our education systems have become, because in our education system, there is nothing about how you should be. It is all about learning ABC, 1, 2, 3, learn this formula, that formula, kind of really ridiculous stuff which most of us never use in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
There is absolutely… our education has nothing as to how this human being can be a higher possibility than compulsive nature of all the other animals. We can be something more. But unfortunately, that's the way we're going. When the entire nation is going through this and our economy is taking such a big hit, there are a whole lot of people who are not thinking what they could do about it, how they could contribute, how they could improve their own lives and everybody's lives around. Such a thought has not come. Their compulsions have taken them over to such an extent that all they can do is rush there, and even if they went to drink, that's not my problem, that is their this thing and it's legal. But the way they piled up, these 30, 40 days of whatever lockdowns we have done, in a way you don't care if everything goes waste.
No,
that is what is shocking.
One of the other things that we have seen, again, it's almost like, I keep saying this, it's almost like a leitmotif that we've seen through the course of these last 40, 50 days, is the problems vis-a-vis migrant labor. Many of them are walking home, many of them, the ones who can are taking some form of transport, but many of them are simply just walking home. we have come to a situation where neither, their home state seems to want them, nor their host state, where these people live and work, seems to want them. And they're just simply walking thousands of miles to get to their homes. How better could we have handled that situation? What could central and state governments done?
Yes, very unfortunate because, this should have been looked at, but the problem was even the administration did not know how long we will lock down. Because they thought it's 15 days, they wanted to hold the migrant labor in the existing places because when we want to restart, they are very much needed. But then it became 30 days, now it became 45 days. So now unfortunately they're going back. Now when you want to restart the economy, they're going back to their villages. So this is going to be a major problem. Now tomorrow you want to start your industry or your construction business or whatever else, you will not have people to do it because once they go back, they're not going to just bounce back within a week or 10 days. They will not come. They will take their time, they will want to watch how the situation is, not leaving the comfort of the home and again coming to the city. A city is a place of total unconcern, nobody is concerned about anybody.
Yeah.
But in village, even if you're hungry, there is somebody who is concerned about you and above all your wife and children because most of the migrant labor are male. The women folk who are left behind, their anxieties, everything has to be dealt with.
But does this also provide us an opportunity to reimagine the way we've been doing, whether it is industry, whether it is services? Everything is concentrated in our cities, right? And agriculture, the only thing that happens in villages seems to be agriculture. Does this allow us to reimagine our country and where we locate industry, where we locate services? Mahatma Gandhi said, many, many years ago that if India has to progress, it has to go back to her villages. Do you think we can re-alter and reimagine these structures?
See, right now in the world, if you look at it, nearly 72% of the world's investments are in some 36 cities or so. So rest of the world doesn't get investment. Not just in India, I'm saying this is across the world. So, where there is no investment, people won't stay there. They will like to go where money has been invested, where things are buzzing. So this is something we must do, at least this one lesson we must learn now, that it's very important in this country, the investments must spread. It may be… See, this is all British-style, Manchester-style industries we are developing. There is a way to develop the same industries more spread out. In every district, there must be this many industries, this must come up. And above all, we still have over 55% of the country's population in agriculture. What this means is, about 55% of the people, that nearly 600 million people in this country know this magic of turning mud into food. This is not a small thing. As time goes by, this becomes very vital. And we have a latitudinal spread and, weather conditions where 12 months of the year we can grow crops. So this is a very good time to reorganize agriculture, make it lucrative, because if we do this right in the next 3 years to 5 years' time, we can in many ways become the breadbasket of the world, because in many, many countries it's untenable to do any agriculture. It is simply economically not possible for them to do agriculture. There will be some protective walls here and there, but that's not going to stop. The price is going to decide many things as to where the food comes from. So, this is something we have not taken advantage of at all, simply because our farmers don't have the power of scale. Their land holdings are too small. This is why we are spearheading this movement called Farmer-Producer Organization, where farmers are coming together and forming a corporation like a thing, so that they have the power of scale. So, there is an elaborate process to this, but it can be done and farmers are willing to do this, it's just that we need an organizing force. Here in the south, we have done one very successful one like this, but this is not enough, these are just samples. This needs to happen across the country.
I want to go to another area, and this is about healthcare. I mean, we've traditionally, India is not known to have great healthcare infrastructure, and even that has been stretched to the maximum because of the pandemic. Do you believe it is time now for us to go back to our roots, whether it is Ayurveda or yoga? Not that, any of that would cure this disease, but certainly as a way to boost immunity and overall to be more healthy as a population.
That moment is definitely going to be there, that moment will definitely happen. But to what extent? See, the problem with Ayurveda and Siddha and the local medicines is, we are also very much practicing this and we have a whole system here. We have very good people, experts in the field, but we have been trying to, kind of increase the production size. But if you have some sense of integrity in you, you cannot increase the production size in Ayurveda because the nature of the medicine is such, if you pluck the leaf in the morning, it's of one quality, if you pluck it in the afternoon, another, evening, another.
Yeah.
Forget about the different seasons and the way it is, the rain quality this year, and many things, many aspects of it. Above all, soil quality is going down in a phenomenal way.
Yeah.
With the soil losing its strength, Ayurveda as it functions, see, batch integrity is simply missing.
Yeah.
You produce one batch, it produces fantastic results. Next batch you produce, the variation is not 5–10%. Whatever this best one and the next one that comes may be 60 to 80% difference. Another one comes again back here.
Yeah.
We've been struggling with this and we just not able to produce batch integrity, do what you want. Nobody has batch integrity with Ayurveda, but it's just going out. One batch works, so you start taking it, next time it doesn't work, but you hope it'll work, It's
Okay.
going on like this. Right now with chemical, the allopathic system or the pharmaceutical system, there is batch integrity. Unless there is no integrity in the manufacturer, there is batch integrity because it's just chemicals, it can be tested and put there.
Yeah.
So because of this, mass production of Ayurveda is not really a practical possibility. But mass dissemination of the knowledge itself can happen.
It's possible, yeah.
It's not like here in Tamil Nadu or Kerala, we'll manufacture the medicine and send it to the world. This will not work. But we can make those things happen in every space. So there itself they can manufacture and distribute around themselves, that is a possibility.
Okay.
So essentially we have to move from this mass production mentality to more production by the masses kind of involvement.
Okay.
So
Fine.
if that doesn't happen, these alternate systems of medicine won't really take over.
Finally, I want to ask you about the business of spirituality, as it were. That's one of the few things that's been very badly affected, in fact, completely closed down. There's no religious gatherings, no spiritual gatherings happening at all anywhere. What happens to the future of such gatherings? I mean, even in your case, you're not meeting people, certainly you can't meet them physically, you're probably meeting them online. You can't travel, people can't visit your ashrams. How does that change because of the pandemic and post the pandemic?
Yes, this is the fear that religious groups are why so desperate to meet and pray and whatever, is simply because they're afraid people may learn to live without prayers, they may learn to live without God, without petitioning Him, they may just learn to live. So this is a good transition from religion to responsibility, because right now what is needed is responsibility. Our entire movement is labeled as religion to responsibility always. So, this is a good time to move humanity from religion to responsibility. What I mean is, religion means we have always been telling people the responsibility is somewhere up there. No, the responsibility has to come here. It's very important that human beings should walk this planet, breathe and take every step in a responsible manner. Only then there will be solutions here, otherwise you may find solutions elsewhere. Now, about myself, yes, definitely there are no large numbers because any event means we have 10 to 15,000 people minimum. Large events go up to, like our Mahashivratri goes nearly to 1 million people. So these events are not going to happen probably for next 12 months or at least 9 to 10 months, definitely it's not going to happen. So we are looking at various ways of delivering this, but the same process will not happen.
All right. Okay. We wish you all the very best. We'll see how the business of spirituality and religion may or may not change once things get back to normal. We'll see. Thank you very much, Sadhguru, for joining us. That is Sadhguru giving us his thoughts on what's been going on through the lockdown, some of the behavioral changes that we've had to encounter because of that, and how to regain our mental balance and our mental peace. We'll take a break here on Global Dialogues, but on the other side, we'll be joined by one more spiritual guru, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar, on this same theme. If you are being mentally disturbed because of being stuck at home, we've seen even cases of domestic violence going up, so on and so forth. He will talk to us about how these issues can be confronted right on the other side of this quick break. To Global Dialogues, the COVID-19 impact and beyond. This is a series where we will be speaking to some world-leading experts on the various aspects of how to look beyond COVID-19. And one of the things that we're stressing on today is mental health. Joining me now is one of India's most famous spiritual gurus, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar. Thank you very much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. One of the things that we have seen through the course of this lockdown is that the rich are well off. They've stocked up. They're getting to spend quality time with their families. For many of them, work is happening from home, work from home. But for the poorer sections, it has really affected them. It has affected their lives. It has affected their livelihoods. As a society, I mean, this is a big moral question that faces all of us when we see, migrant labor, walking home thousands of kilometers. What can we do for them as a society beyond just charity and doles?
We started on 22nd May itself because I foresaw this happening. And so we said, we started a campaign that said, I stand up with the daily wage workers. Support for humanity, stand up with daily wage workers. So we have supplied food and ration to 25 lakh families and cooked food to about 6 crore people around the country. And had a community kitchen we had organized in different states from Kerala to Kashmir. Everywhere we are doing this.
Okay.
And many other NGOs are also doing similar work. And it's necessary, Before lockdown, we must plan how these daily wage workers will survive, how they can be sustained. These things we need to really look into it.
No, so Shishiji, you said about community kitchens. You talked about e-satsangs and so on, which you're doing online. One of the things again, which has popped up during this lockdown is how should people use this lockdown period to rediscover quality of family, quality time with family. What can meditation do to help them? Now, obviously, people are depressed. We're also getting reports of domestic violence increasing and so on and so forth. How can meditation help in this period?
Meditation helps. Meditation uplifts your energy, number one. It doesn't let you stress out. And when you're sitting and worrying, meditation helps you to get out of the worry mindset. It invokes confidence from within you.
Yeah.
And it also gives, the stress hormones. It prevents the stress hormones from getting created in the brain. There are a number of research to support these, that how meditation helps boost immune system. It really caters to the mental health and well-being of a person. So people from world over are now doing meditation and being benefited from this. I get every day tens and thousands of email how their life is saved and how their mind is saved, how they feel so much better in the lockdown by participating in meditation. Initially, I thought we'll do it for 10, 15 days and see, but now the demand from around the world is so much that I had to continue these sessions.
You've always been a big advocate of Ayurveda, traditional Indian medicine. Do you think that this COVID pandemic has once again put the onus, put the emphasis, allowed us to rediscover traditional Indian medicine? I'm not saying that any of this is going to cure COVID, but at least at some level to boost immunity and make you a more healthy person.
Now, even the allopathy says that turmeric has great value. It has, it is antiviral and antibacterial properties.
Yeah.
Now, this we have been saying from ages in this country. People have been using turmeric. I don't think any Indian women know how to cook without turmeric and pepper in it.
Yeah.
Any dish she makes, she puts turmeric. Any sambar, dal, rasam, anything they make. So, but taking turmeric, nano turmeric as a tablet at this time would help them immensely.
Okay.
So, turmeric and amrit. Amrit is another Ayurvedic herb. So, Ayurveda has given several, indications to improve our immune system. We should use this. This is the time we must feel very strong about it.
Coming to the question of spirituality and religion, now obviously people are at home, they don't have much to do in terms of, they're not going to work, all that trouble of commute and all of that is not there. They have time on their hands and they're fundamentally asking themselves questions about, who are they as individuals, what their beliefs are, what their value systems are, what is the importance of religion and spirituality at a time such as this. What do you see as the role of religion or spirituality in a post-COVID world?
See, religion has a role in one's life. The name is according to religion. The ceremonies, life, whether marriage or naming or death till end, religion guides you through events in life, through ceremonies. But spirituality is different. Spirituality is which invokes peace inside of you, happiness inside of you, love and kindness inside of you. Spirituality makes you to embrace, helps you to embrace the whole world as part of you.
Okay.
And spirituality really rekindles the human values. So we need religion on one side, which is bound by rituals and daily beliefs and practices. On the other hand, the spirituality, which is common to all religion, which can unite the hearts and minds of people, give them confidence, and create a sense of belongingness with each other. This is also essential. And spirituality, as I said, is practices which is very individual.
Sure.
And which transcends religion.
But whether it is religion or spirituality, at some level there is also community, there is also fraternity, people coming together, gatherings, social gatherings, the bond of community that comes because of that. Obviously, because of the pandemic, you can't do that anymore. There are no gatherings, there is no possibility of travel. So that coming together as a community for a spiritual exchange or a religious exchange, how do you think that will change because of the pandemic post this?
For some time, this will be an issue. People will be scared to go, whether it is on pilgrimage or on parties or on vacation. Some people want tourism, travel and tourism is going to be a challenge for some time. People will be scared. But, time is such a big healer. After some time, you'll forget all that. Once there is a vaccine or even a news that this is curable or some medicine has been found, people will forget everything and they'll start doing what they want to do.
We hope so. Ultimately, we have to learn some lessons. And that's going to be my last question to you. As a society, do you feel that this pandemic will change the way we think about work, the way we travel, the way we design our cities? Do you think a fundamental reimagination can happen in a post-COVID world, which will be different. We will not be doing the same things as we used to do before the lockdown and before the disease.
There are new normals now. Things are already changed. Things have already changed in many ways. People are now started to sit back and see what is the priorities in their life, how they should move ahead.
Yeah.
So definitely it will have some impact, but on the long run, I don't think this paranoia will remain for too long.
Okay. Okay, we hope so. May your words come true. Thank you very much, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar, for joining us here on Global Dialogues. There you go. That's a wrap of episode 3 of Global Dialogues. Like I said, the idea is to get the best experts, thinkers, spiritual gurus from India and around the world to help us navigate the post-COVID world. If you've been tuned in, thanks very much. This episode will go up on our website, news18.com. News and updates continue right here on CNN News 18.